Hey everybody, John Skiba here from the Consumer Warrior YouTube channel. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about car loans in bankruptcy. There's a lot of misunderstanding about as far as how you keep your car, what a reaffirmation agreement is, and whether you should enter into one or not, and how that whole process works. But if this is your first time here to my YouTube channel, please click subscribe, check on that little bell. That way you'll be notified each week when I put out new videos that'll help you deal with your serious debt problem. All right, let's talk about car loans and bankruptcy. This can at times be a little bit confusing as far as to what exactly happens to your car loan if you're filing for bankruptcy. So typical Chapter 7 bankruptcy, we break your debts down into two categories. Secured debts, where there's collateral or property attached to the loan. Examples are car loans, home loans, anything where the debt and the collateral, the property are tied together. Then we have unsecured debts, like credit card debt, medical bills, personal loans, those types of things where there is no property attached to it. Now, in a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, most unsecured debts are eliminated. Secured debts, though, are treated differently. And for purposes of this video, let's talk about car loans. Your car loan that you have, you're typically, if you want to keep it, you're going to have to continue to make the monthly payment on it. There's no free car in bankruptcy. They're not going to wipe out the debt and you still keep the car. That doesn't work. You're going to have to continue to make those monthly payments on your car loan if you want to keep the vehicle. Alternatively, you can surrender it through the Chapter 7 bankruptcy and you won't owe anything on that loan going forward. I often see this. A client will come in if they have a vehicle loan that they just simply can't afford anymore. They're worried about getting it repossessed and then getting sued for the balance, so they just surrender it through the bankruptcy and then they don't owe any more on that particular car loan. However, if you want to keep your car loan and you're continuing to make the payments on it, the bankruptcy code requires that you complete a reaffirmation agreement. This document and the filing of it and the court's approval of it causes a lot of confusion. This was a new provision back in 2005 when they redid the bankruptcy code. And what the reaffirmation agreement says or requires is essentially a new contract between you and the lender where you're reaffirming the terms of your original contract. Before you can even be eligible to receive a reaffirmation agreement on your vehicle, you're going to have to be current on the payments. So if you file Chapter 7 bankruptcy, you're behind on your payments, you're not even going to receive a reaffirmation agreement from your lender because you have to be current before they're going to provide you one. But if you are current, they'll send one over to your attorney, and it's usually completed with the lender has filled out their portion of it. We complete your portion of it. You sign off on it. Your bankruptcy attorney signs it, and then we submit it back to the lender, and then they will file it with the court. Because there's really three components of the reaffirmation agreement. One, you need to sign it. Two, your creditor, the lender, they need to sign off on it. And then the third one, which is really important, is the court, your judge, has to approve it. Now, the benefits to having an approved reaffirmation agreement are that one, the terms will just remain the same and you can continue to keep the vehicle. Two, your on-time payments will be reported to the credit reporting agencies like Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. They're all going to continue to receive information on your on-time payments. The downside to an approved reaffirmation agreement is if for some reason down the road you are unable to keep that car and the car goes back to the lender, it's repossessed, they are allowed to pursue you for the balance. We call this the deficiency. They're able to sue you for that balance and still try to collect on it. If you do not have an approved reaffirmation agreement, your creditors are not allowed to pursue you for any deficiency balance if the car unexpectedly ends up going back to the lender down the road. One of the downsides, though, if there is no approved reaffirmation agreement, is that the on-time payments that you're making towards that vehicle, they will not be reported to the credit reporting agencies. So it's not going to give you a boost to your credit. Negative information won't be reported, just nothing will be reported to the credit reports. So in Arizona, and I believe this is fairly state specific, I can tell you in Arizona that the bankruptcy judges in general do not approve reaffirmation agreements on car loans unless there's really an overriding reason that they need to do it. The reason that they often do not approve these reaffirmation agreements is they think that they are risky. They think it's risky for you to have this approved reaffirmation agreement just because in the event that something happens that you don't expect and your vehicle goes back to the lender, you're going to find yourself having gone through the whole bankruptcy process, getting your discharge, and you're still getting sued by your creditors. So what they'll often do is enter an order just saying continue to make your monthly payments as normal. Your lender is going to leave you alone as long as you're making those payments, and you'll pay off your car like normal, and eventually you'll get the title for it. Again, the only downside to that is that you will not get information reported to the credit bureaus. I can say this. In my opinion, you don't get that big of a bump anyway. I've seen actually studies that have been done on it, and it doesn't provide that big of an impact on your credit report to have those payments reported post-bankruptcy. My recommendation, we always do submit reaffirmation agreements on vehicles to the bankruptcy court. They're just almost universally not approved, except in very rare occasions. I know that's still probably confusing, even though I've gone through it. So if you're going through the bankruptcy process, you have questions about your car loan, whether you can keep it, whether you should reaffirm it, talk to your bankruptcy attorney. If you're in the state of Arizona, I would be happy to meet with you if you're contemplating bankruptcy. We can talk about your car loans, credit cards, all the other types of debts, how they'll be treated in this process, and how we can help you get your fresh start. Thanks for watching today.